Coming up, a follow-up on a previous Rethinking Heroes exclusive. The LA actor falsely accused of sexual misconduct with a minor has now busted the LA DA for tampering with evidence. Guess what? It's Chinatown all over again.
Rethinking Heroes with Cary Harrison. RethinkingHeroes.com.
Attention homeowners. Do you have a house that's in need of serious repairs? Do you have tenants that never seem to make their monthly payments? Do you have code violations, past due taxes, or maintenance costs you just can't afford? Then call our special home buying hotline right now. We specialize in buying any home no matter the situation. Turn that problem property into cash today. It's just that simple. One call and you can get rid of that home headache forever. We can buy your home with instant closings, instant cash, and huge savings. Plus, there's no realtor fees, no listing fees, and no repair costs. Just cash in your hands for that painful property. We're buying a few more homes in your neighborhood right now. So take advantage of this cash offer and call the number on your screen today.
And it is Rethinking Heroes. Cary Harrison here with you, your new best friend. Well, you'll remember a few months ago. Oh, let me just say hello to Vinny, who's sitting on the side. Vinny is helping out with the show here. Renee Yawarski, our technical director I think she's in Atlanta or Pennsylvania, somewhere in the northern climes or the northeastern climes. And of course, Gary Baca back at the station at KPFK. Well, you're going to remember a few months ago, we broke the story about malfeasance in the LA DA's office looking to ruin the life of an actor and his girlfriend in what reads like a screenplay full of twists and turns. And it was actor Joseph Gatt, renowned for his roles of Game of Thrones and Thor and True Detective, found himself at the heart of legal whirlwind. And he's initiated a lawsuit against Los Angeles County DA George Gascon, among many others, claiming that his career as an actor was unjustly sabotaged by baseless allegations of communicating inappropriately with a minor, which was later, important, dismissed. Mr. Gatt contends that sloppy investigative work led to a premature announcement of felony charges, which were later disproved by forensic analysis, showing the evidence had been tampered with. Oh my God, this is the Rockford Files. This is like the movie of the week here, but it's real life. And the fallout from these accusations has had a catastrophic effect on his life, both professionally and personally, with Joseph Gatt estimating a loss of $40 million in potential earnings as an actor. Well, today we underscore the importance of meticulous investigation in safeguarding individuals' reputations and careers against unwarranted damage. This conversation is particularly poignant considering the lasting impact that sloppy and politically motivated police work combined with the fakery of AI can have on anyone accused. The attorney representing Mr. Gatt recently won a $5 million settlement against Los Angeles for the same general kind of sloppy police work. Joseph Gatt's fight to clear his name and rebuild his career is a stark reminder of the complex interplay between law, between media, between the people caught in their crosshairs, including his partner, Mercy Malik, who joins him now. Joseph Gatt, Mercy Malik, welcome back to Rethinking Heroes.
Hey, thanks, Cary.
Hi, Harrison.
We are very glad you're here, along with your attorney. And maybe in your own words, you could describe the moment you first learned of the charges against you and what your initial reaction was.
Me personally, it's actually, apart from kind of confusion as to what was going on, I think the best reaction to the initial charges probably comes from Mercy when she first found out, because she basically laughed and was like, what? This is like literally the most ridiculous thing that she's ever heard and we've ever heard. So, yeah, that was it. It was kind of an incredulous kind of reaction of not knowing what was going on, how this was happening, and what we were going to do about it.
Well, we're talking to Joseph Gatt and Mercy Malik, and you ended up taking legal action after all that legal action through you, after the whole cloth destruction of your career. You're taking legal action against Los Angeles County. We'll get to your attorney in a moment, but just this is from your side because the listeners like you, less like the attorneys, although lots are attorneys. What took you to take legal action against Los Angeles County and other involved parties? What do you hope to achieve through this lawsuit?
Well, apart from trying to, get back some of the economic losses that I've suffered, and Mercy, through loss of work over the last couple of years and moving forward in the future, as I have no idea if I'm going to be going back to work. I have no idea what's going to be happening for me in the future. There are also a couple of other important things that we want to achieve here. One is getting accountability for what happened. We want the people who made this happen, and it was something that was made to be happen. It didn't have to happen. If all the proper procedures were followed, it didn't have to happen. And it's to get some accountability, because there is a big thing here where, law enforcement departments all around the country and prosecutors have immunity. And they have the kind of immunity where they can prosecute with absolute impunity, with zero accountability. And we want to change that. We want to make it very public to do that. And we want to change that.
So I think in summary, Harrison, what we're also looking for is affecting change. So not just a punitive type of action, but hoping to make it less likely that this kind of travesty could befall others in the future.
Let's jump in right now. That was Mercy Malik, and talk to Dean Pamphilus, who recently won a $5 million settlement against LA County of some sort. Their long reputation going back to 1890 something, when a bunch of Quakers, my ancestors, not living in LA, but Quakers, were burnt out in order to be able to bring some water in. And it's always about the water, but now it's not. It's about reputations and movie stars. Can you tell us, Dean Pamphilus, a little bit about what you guys hope to win and what you hope the city, the state, the DA, all of these people that wrongly went after Mr. Gatt, they can do to make things right?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me here, Cary. So we filed this civil rights action on behalf of Joseph. And as you mentioned in the complaint, we're asking for $40 million. This is the first step in trying to help Joseph right this tremendous wrong. Literally, I think as was said at the outset of the show, with the stroke of a pen, or in this case, a keystroke, Joseph was canceled. His career was canceled, and he's been unable to recover from that to this point. So it is important also to have media like yourself who's getting the word out that these charges against Joseph were dropped, that they were not dropped on a technicality, but because they were baseless. And, as everybody knows, or everyone should know in the criminal justice system, the burden doesn't rest on the defendant, the criminal defendant, to prove that they're innocent. The burden rests on the people to prove that he's guilty. In this case, the burden was reversed, and Joseph was forced to go out and hire a forensic computer expert to prove that he was completely innocent of these charges. Ultimately, we hope that Joseph's able to recover for the great financial loss that he's had here, but as well as the loss of his reputation. And we'd ask, as I did in my last case against LA County, that he ultimately be declared innocent by a criminal court judge. And that's something that I recently obtained, in addition to the $5 million for the other client that you mentioned earlier.
Let's jump over to Joseph Gatt and Mercy Malik again. Joseph Gatt accused wrongly. And this was an app that was downloaded by a minor in another state. And you can download these apps on a phone, and you can have a fake romance with a celebrity of your choice. You can even put in the pictures of your choice. It looks real enough. and then you get upset because that celebrity actually has never contacted you back, or never did, or never will. So you go to the cops because you're upset. It then ends up in LA. It ends up becoming a thing. You say, no, it never happened. The cops don't bother to actually check it out. You have to hire your own forensic investigator to find out it was all nonsense and bunkum. Your reputation is destroyed. So, Joseph Gatt and Mercy Malik, reflecting on your experience, what message do you have for other public figures who might find themselves in similar situations?
That's a really good question. Basically, hope that you have someone like Jeff Fishback on your team so that he can actually investigate the situation and find the truth and reveal the truth. What we've discovered regarding my situation is if the police had done their job correctly, this would never have even gotten probably down, to the point of me being arrested. In fact, at no point did the police ever even attempt to authenticate the story that the girl had told. They basically took her word for it. It was an electronic crime. There should have been a lot of electronic evidence supporting what she was alleging. And the police never did a single thing to actually get that supporting evidence. In fact, the first time we had a meeting after my arraignment, Jeff basically said to us right away and said to my attorney, where's the evidence? Where's the chain of custody? Where's the evidence? Because none of the usual steps had been taken. And, now we're learning a little bit more as to perhaps why all of that didn't happen and why everything happened in the way it did. But with regards to other celebrities or other people, because this can happen to anybody. It can happen to teachers, doctors. And since this has happened to us, we've both been communicated to by people we know and don't know many, many times with regards to stories from other people who this has happened to, who similar things have happened to. And it's just horrific that it happened, and if you don't have the right people looking after you and doing the right job and finding the evidence to get you exonerated, you end up, being forced to take a plea or worse.
And just quickly to your direct question of advice for others, the one thing that we strongly urge people is to never delete any electronic communication of any sort, even if you think it's insignificant, because if you can't show it live in the app, someone else can make a claim that it was different. So even if you screenshot something and you say, wow, that was weird from this fan or this unknown stranger who sent me a message, I'll just keep a screenshot of it. Not good enough. It's got to be live in the communication platform that you had it in so that you can prove later, because as we found out, you're not innocent until proven guilty, certainly not by the media. So a very quick way to dispute that or to dispel that is to be able to produce the receipts, as they say.
Yeah. I mean, literally have zero communication with someone or keep every communication that you have.
Cary Harrison with you. This is Rethinking Heroes, rethinkingheroes.com. We're talking right now to Joseph Gatt and Mercy Malik, along with their attorney, who just won a $5 million settlement. His name is Dean Pamphilis. And we're talking about the horrible story that happened to a great actor who was out doing science fiction. So, of course, I love science fiction. I can only say a great actor, and he actually is, doing a bunch of wonderful stuff. Mercy Malik also is an actor, and what she does physical things that are incredible as a coach, as a trainer as well. Both are very talented.
Thank you, Cary. Joe's a great actor. Mercy's also an actor. No,
and when you
the add-on.
And if I can make a guy big and strong like Joe cough, I did good. So when you destroy people's lives like this, you have to now get back a reputation, which you can pay $29.99 for reputationbuilder.com. Not going to work, because what you do is so unique. You're an actor. You're selling people's opinion of you and the studio's opinion of what you can do to sell tickets for them. Totally different from everyone else. Reflecting on this experience, what message do you have for other public figures who might find themselves and will find themselves, we know this, in similar situations?
I don't wish this situation on anyone. It's an incredibly difficult place to be in. We're still trying to navigate how we move forward from this, and the exoneration, or actually it wasn't really an exoneration by the LADA's office, dismissing the case, but allowing us to demonstrate very loudly exactly how this case was mishandled, and exactly how the case was dismissed. I think that's the step forward into somehow getting my reputation back, and somehow being allowed back into the Hollywood community and be able to do the thing that I love to do again. But yeah, it's like a step-by-step situation, just trying to find out how we can move forward from here and get this. And obviously, with Dean's help, this will be tremendous. Like if we can get a certificate of innocence from the LADA's office, if we can get a public apology, that would obviously be huge, a huge message publicly, nationally, and to my industry, to say, oh, we can safely use Joseph again. Nothing else is going to come up, or whatever. So we'll just see what happens. And it works for both of us. Mercy's career has been damaged just as badly as mine has. So we both want to get back to work.
Cary Harrison with you. We're talking to Joseph Gatt, known for his roles in Game of Thrones, Thor, True Detective. He's suing Los Angeles County, the DA, George Gascon, and others, saying his career was wrongly dynamited by fabricated evidence and accusations of communicating with a minor. We're looking at the consequences of legal overreach and political ambitions. He's joined by his partner, Mercy Malik, a multi-talented actor and a fitness dance coach. Let's jump over to their attorney right now and talk to Dean Pamphilus. You're dealing with the intricacies of the Los Angeles legal system, which has been for decades the subject of TV shows and movies as being, shall we say, unfragrant at times. What they're saying, it's all true, isn't it?
What Joe and Mercy are saying is absolutely true. And I think one of the things that I want to emphasize here is what Joseph was charged with was electronically communicating with a 16-year-old in a different state. He was never charged with any in-person meetings or telephone conversations. And the importance of that is that the communications that they alleged formed the basis of this crime were all in electronic form. And because of that, it could very easily be confirmed or denied by looking at the electronic evidence, looking at the metadata on the accuser's phone, on Joe's phone. This is not stuff that you can hide or should be able to hide from an outfit like the LADA's investigative unit, which is on par with the FBI. The fact that this dragged on for 2 years and that they kept Joseph from communicating on social media for 2 years was totally unnecessary. This is a sort of thing that could be determined in a matter of days, not years. And they had months where they were allegedly investigating Joseph, the LA DA's office, before they arrested him. They very easily could have determined that these were false allegations. They were completely made up by this accuser.
Interesting that I have to wonder if assuming that all police are completely honest, what is the upside to not checking out evidence? What is the upside to Sherlock Holmes taking long naps and blowing off the scene? Like they have to have explained that there was a benefit to them not doing their job. They can't just say we didn't do our job because or did they?
Well, typically what you see, I saw it in this case, I saw it in the prior case that you've mentioned, is the DA's office or the LAPD will make a big media press splash. And I think in large part, it's to benefit their own reputation. You know, the heads of these offices run for election, and they want to show the public that somehow they're fighting crime. That's one reason. And as it's alleged in the complaint, we think there were other reasons as well, that there were biases in play, both for the LADA's office as well as the LAPD's office against Joe, primarily because he's outspoken on social issues. And he's a celebrity. He's someone whose stories the press will pick up, which is what happened when they put out this notification after arresting him, looking for other victims when they didn't even have a single true victim. It was carried by over 200 media outlets, and that resulted in the cancellation of his career. His agent fired him the next day. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of things in play, a lot of reasons perhaps why they do this. But all we need to show is that it was done recklessly. And given that they actually had the evidence in their possession that they could have used to confirm that these were false allegations, at the very least, it's reckless. It's perhaps intentional. We'll see as the case goes on if we're able to establish that.
So using strict legal terms, it was naughty.
I would probably use stronger terms, but sure.
That's their wonderful attorney who has just also scored another big settlement against the same group of government people that are in charge of you, 14 million people, by doing what they want, going on TV, destroying your life if they feel like it. Dean Pemphilis also just won a $5 million settlement against this same kind of behavior, different case, different style, but that beat tends to go on. Let's jump back as we finish up here with Joseph Gatt and Mercy Malik, victims of this. You now, Joseph Gatt, and you too, Mercy Malik, have to rebuild your reputation. And, you know, an agent fired you got canceled, deplatformed, if you will, destroyed, wiped out, expunged. You never existed, even though you're searchable all over the place. But now you have to rebuild from scratch in many ways. This hasn't had to have been done before, I don't think, like this before. So you're going to be a pioneer in doing what many others will have to do down the road. What's the plan here, if there is one?
Well, again, a great question, but it's just one of those things. I love my work, and I had a great reputation in the industry, as did Mercy. And that was completely taken away. And I want to get that back. I know we have incredible support from all over the world, from people we know and people we don't know. And we're continuously being told that we're being supported. People believe us and they want us back. They want to see us. They're happy. You know, I've been told countless times they're happy to just see me back on social media, but they want to see me back at work. So I know we have the support out there. It's just the whole thing of getting back to work is going to be, I'm kind of, Mercy.
So I think, and I want to be clear, obviously the damage to me personally is a tiny hair as bad as what Joe has experienced. But one of the things that I've learned in the last couple of years, people who know us both, have worked with us both, want to help us, felt comfortable bringing me in on a couple projects directly, but not comfortable bringing Joe in because the publicity surrounding his name. I mean, there have been some amazing and startling articles written about me personally, but nothing even close to what Joe has had to withstand. Therefore, people just don't feel comfortable employing him, even if they're 100% sure and have been through the entirety of the process that it was untrue. The way that mainstream media covered this, as Dean aptly brought up, over 200 major news organizations worldwide covered the arrest. Only one, plus your show, covered when the charges were dropped. And that's something societally that maybe we should look at. A lot of press was generated by the filing of the lawsuit, which was great. And again, many thanks to Dean on doing that in such a way that did attract the attention that it deserved. But people who are exonerated should not need to file a $40 million lawsuit in order to have their name cleared publicly. So that's something that we're looking at, trying to directly to your question, what should other people do in that circumstance? We're trying to figure out how to make that an easier process, both for Joe and for people who come after him. And hopefully there are fewer who come after him in this circumstance.
Because as you said, Cary, and we've tried to search it. We don't know if there's been another incident like this specifically where someone has been accused of something and has been cancelled in this way, and it's been discovered it's been completely manufactured and malicious.
And the reason we don't know is because exonerations are not publicized in the way that claims and false claims are.
Well, right. It means that somebody made a mistake or covered something up or didn't behave within the parameters of their own laws that they help adjudicate. So this is such an eye-opener, and I'm glad you came on today. I'm glad you're fighting on behalf of the many others that will follow. And, I will have you back on again because I'm fascinated in repairing a reputation. This isn't a car dealership that sold a car with a dent. That's what the regular people, for $250, that's what they pay for. But this is like rebuilding an empire. But you're going to do it because you're a good actor. You've got a lot of fans that love you. We now know it did not happen that way at all. And so I think maybe take a page of Bill Clinton, who said, whenever there's whenever they're trying to drive me out of town on a rail, I just run to the front and turn it into a parade.
So it's inspiring that Bill Clinton, who did do something wrong, was able to recover. So hopefully people who've done nothing wrong are able to recover as well.
So just keep doing good acting, and I know you guys work in charities and you do all kinds of wonderful stuff out there. Keep doing that stuff. And people like me and others will talk about it and highlight all the positives. And because there are only positives, that's a fact. Let me just say that again. Under this law, under what we know today, under all the facts available right now and in the future, there are only positives. There is nothing more to talk about, and they're going to make the corrective actions needed so that governments don't overreach, so that we don't have bullies clubbing down other people because they might not agree with their politics or whatever the larger backstory might be. I want to thank both of you for bravely coming on because this is such a tough, difficult issue. But the more people that know and see good people and hear the story of what you've been through and how you fought back and you're owning yourselves, I think the more hope we all have and the more we can protect and defend each other. So I'm very grateful today.
Thank you so much for having us on.
Thank you, Cary.
We've been talking to Joseph Gatt and Mercy Malik. Joseph is known for roles in Game of Thrones, Thor, and True Detective. He's suing Los Angeles County, the DA, George Gascon, and others, saying his career was wrongfully dynamited by fabricated evidence and accusations of communicating with a minor, which he did not do. We're looking at the consequences of legal overreach and political ambitions. And he was joined by his partner, Mercy Malik, a multi-talented actor, fitness and dance coach, plus their attorney, who popped on last second and whose name was Dean Pamphilis, who just recently won a $5 million award against the same city and county.
You know that Riverside
firing up
Recovery
all
of
these
Tampa
shenanigans.
embodies a holistic approach to addiction treatment with a team of compassionate professionals dedicated to guiding people towards lasting recovery. Riverside Recovery provides a comprehensive range of evidence-based therapies, counseling, and support services. Riverside Recovery understands that every person's journey is unique. Their personalized treatment plans are crafted with care, addressing the individual needs, challenges, and aspirations of each resident. Whether someone is navigating the early stages of recovery or seeking ongoing support, Riverside Recovery stands as a steadfast partner on the path to wellness. At Riverside, recovery is not only possible, but also a transformative journey towards a brighter, healthier future. Ask folks who've been there, people who have rediscovered their inherent worth and potential. Located in the serene surroundings of Tampa, Riverside is a peaceful retreat of tranquility conducive to self-reflection and healing. Riverside Recovery believes that the journey to recovery is not about just overcoming challenges, but also about discovering your own inner strength and resilience. The dedicated staff at Riverside Recovery are your compassionate companions on the road to recovery, and they recognize that true healing encompasses the mind, body, and spirit, all while comfortably addressing the many aspects of addiction. You can learn more at rrtampa.com. That's rrtampa.com, rrtampa.com, or call 1-800-871-5440. 800-871-5440. 800-871-5440.
And by the way, I love hanging out with all of you. So I really appreciate all the opportunity, every moment, every second I get to spend with the listeners who text me at our talk line, 310-737-TALK. 310-737-TALK. You text me. I love getting your messages. I love hanging out with you. And I look forward to seeing everybody next week. Thank you, Gary Baca in the control room. Thank you, Renee Jaworski. Sorry, I can't talk today, who is, of course, our beautiful, fabulous, not only in-house counsel, but technical director and series producer, along with Vinny, who is in today watching, who's going to help us make great strides ahead. Looking forward to seeing everybody next week. Don't forget, 818-985-KPFK, 818-985-5735. Make your donation now.
Listen, well, it's still legal.
Rethinking Heroes with Cary Harrison. RethinkingHeroes.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call Low Cost Airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
Attention, men. Here's a great way to have more fun in bed and save money. If you want to take something like Viagra, well, they can give you a way to pay as little as $2 a pill. Yep, $2 a pill. Compare that to prices as high as $60 per tablet. These pills work for us to improve our performance and confidence, and you're going to love them. And now for the price of 2 or 3 pills, you can get 50 or more pills for around $100. You're going to save hundreds of dollars off of retail prices, and that's enough to buy your date a nice dinner. Don't pay expensive prices for Viagra. Call now and order 50 or more of our blue pills and pay as little as $2 a pill. Save hundreds of dollars. Call Steelman Pills now for confidential shipping. 800-814-5031. 800-814-5031. 800-814-5031. 800-814-5031.